Okay, today we're playing a game on Nepal. We are in the Bronze SR range, and we will be playing Reinhardt the entire way through. And as a result of it being in Bronze, we don't really care what our team comp is, because trust me, it don't matter that much anyway. It really don't matter in Bronze, because nobody knows how to play their heroes anyway, so why would team comp matter? It doesn't. It just kinda doesn't. We do have questions in the email, though. So, should I have given up on Ryan in this game, and if so, which tank to switch to? I chose Ryan because Hog and Soldier can use a shield to stand behind. This did not work out. My team didn't stay behind shield, possibly because it was constantly down. I would appreciate your views on this. I like to play main tanks, but the lower I fall in SR, the more useless I feel. Plus, Junkrat is super meta in Bronze, which makes shield tanking miserable. Here's the thing with playing Reinhardt. I mean, this is kind of true of every tank, but I find it to be particularly true with Reinhardt. You kind of need your team to actually play around you to get anything done. So if you're in really low SR, there's not that much point playing Reinhardt because they are unlikely to actually play behind your shield. There are a couple of exceptions to this, and those would be maps that have very hard choke points on them, because then your team doesn't really have much choice but to play behind your shield. So, like Eichenwald, Hanamura, Horizon. First checkpoint, anyway. Second checkpoint, not so much. Yeah, anything with, like, your team are gonna be behind you type of map is, still fine for Reinhardt, because then, well, if your team ain't got anywhere to go off to, they'll probably be behind you. Just may still not work, because if, you know, your team are just, like, really stupid, there's not very much you can do about it. In general, like, playing Reinhardt's not going to work out super well. Reinhardt's also not great on King of the Hill maps, because Reinhardt does like when the fight comes at you from, like, one direction, basically. He doesn't really like the fight coming at you from multiple angles, which tends to happen on King of the Hill maps. There are exceptions to that as well, like Sanctum, Control Center. There we go. That's the one. That's the one. Or, University as well, because those are pretty, like, one-directional maps. Really, like, here's the thing. If you kind of still want to play a shield tank, in low SR, you're better off picking Orisa, because the enemy team will likely not actually do what you're supposed to do, which is just kind of like dogpile on the Orisa, because they're all going to be off doing their own different thing anyway. They're all going to be out of position, so you having a ranged weapon and halt is going to be helpful for you actually, is going to mean you can actually kill them, because they're out of position all the time, and like not behind shields or anything like that. If they have a Reinhardt, you can just bully him, because he's not going to know what to do against you as Orisa, so you'll be able to bully him instead. And you still have, like, the shield, so you still kind of fulfill a similar role to Reinhardt, but you're a little bit more independent, because you can kind of just shoot them and kill them, right? And in low SR, the enemy team will not likely just, like, dive on you, because that's what you do with Orisa, you just, like, overwhelm her. But if they're all just off doing their own thing, as they do in Bronze, that won't be so much of an issue for you. So Orisa's probably going to be, like, the best thing you can pick in, like, very low SR. Diva, you can still, like, dive on somebody and kill them. Diva is close to being a main tank, because she still does have some defensive aspects to her, but she's very good at punishing people's mistakes as well, which there will be a lot of in low SR. Winston's also good, because he can be main tanky, you can and you can just, like, kill all of the, like, solo queue heroes that people love to pick and will be bad at, like Genji, McCree, Soldier. You can just, like, jump on these people and kill them as Winston, and they won't know what to do, because they're in Bronze. They'll panic and die to you, right? Roadhog can work if you're, like, really good at Roadhog, but has a more mechanical requirement to him. So, but I would recommend Orisa, Winston, or Diva for very low SR, because you're less reliant on your team, and they can all punish the enemy team's mistakes better than Reinhardt can, because Reinhardt's slow in melee. So he's not so great at punishing people's bad mistakes. There was another question. I realized that shield management is a thing. I tried to feather the shield in this game to no avail. My shield always broke, got low first. Any suggestions? We'll talk about that as it's happening. What to do when Ryan's shield is broken and low? I go aggressive in this game to disastrous effects. It kind of depends. See, I'm thinking about whether or not this is really what's usually going to happen, because I feel like it's pretty close to being 50-50. There are times when the correct play is to go in aggressive, and there are times when the correct play is to play defensively instead. If things are relatively neutral, playing defensively and just like backing off and giving up ground is going to be the safer bet. But there are times when you want to go aggressive if your shield is getting low. An obvious example is, suppose you're blocking the enemy soldier's tack visor, right? But your shield's gonna break, before his tack visor ends. Usually the best thing you can do at that point is start walking towards the soldier, and as soon as your shield, like, breaks, you just start hitting him and get in his face, because then, even though you can't block with your shield, you can still just, like, hit him and block with your body instead. So there are times when there's the correct play to go aggressively, and there are times when the correct play is to go defensively. Or suppose you're playing like the classic Reinhardt versus Reinhardt thing. You think he's got Earth Chatter and your shield's about to break. Sometimes then the correct play is to just go hard on the other Reinhardt and pin him so that he can't use his Earth Shatter when your shield breaks. So, it really depends. There are situations when aggressive is the correct play and when when being defensive is the correct play. In general, playing defensively is very unlikely to have disastrous effects, whereas going aggressively can have disastrous effects. So, I should say just like go defensively. If you are not sure what the correct play is, just play defensively, because that is unlikely to have disastrous results. Playing aggressively might have disastrous results. At the same time though, when you're learning how to play a hero, I recommend going as aggressively as possible. And yeah, you'll fuck it up and you'll go too aggressively, but as long as you go, oh, that was too aggressive, and you learn from that experience, pull it back a little bit next time. You end up getting a better understanding of what your limits are on the hero, but playing defensively is unlikely to have disastrous results. So, take it for what you will. And that is the only questions in the email, so we're just gonna start the game now. Now that we've, meandered around enough. So we are going down on the low ground on Village. I fucking hate Village because this is what people always want to do, even though the correct play is to go up onto the high ground. Some motherfucker the other day was trying to tell me that if you don't have a Lucio, you don't go up to the high ground, and I was like, no, you motherfucking idiot, because then you just go down the low ground, and well, guess what? They probably went high ground, and now you're fighting them on the low ground, you fucking dumbass. This guy was in Diamond. People never learn. Oh, well, and I fucking, quite frankly, is not that surprising for neither team to have a Lucio. You fight over the high ground, you dumb shit. Anyway, I hate people. So, they've got a, Reinhardt, and we're going real hard on him right now. There's, like, kinda not really anyone behind him, so it's not that bad. So, right now, honestly, like, I played a little calmer here, because this Reinhardt wants to inch his way onto the point. You can see by the way he's moving. So what you can do instead is you can just wait for him to, like, crest this corner and then pin him. It's very easy to kill the other Reinhardt with pin if the other Reinhardt doesn't know how to position, because, like, he's got nobody behind him. You can see there's no one here, but he's still going on to the point anyway. So you can just wait, and then as soon as he goes around the corner, pin him against the corner, and then you can beat him to death. Instead, we go in and we just start hitting him, and now we can do this. He's pinned the Lucio, which is unfortunate, but he tried to pin, didn't pin us, so we just get to immediately then pin him against the wall. However, there's a lot of fucking people here at the same time. And our team are kind of nowhere to be seen at our current moment in time. So, Genji was here the whole time. What's Genji doing over here? What's Genji doing over here? Anyway. This is the thing as well, when you, get wound up trying to beat the other Reinhardt to death, if the rest of his team is around, you'll get beaten to death by them instead. So, anyway, if you played a little calmer and just try to pin him for overextending by himself, or without backup, I'll say, seeing as they were on, like, the other side of the point, then, he probably doesn't pin the Lucio, and you end up killing him you'll end up killing him a lot faster, and then that awkward situation doesn't end up happening, because We took slightly longer to beat him to death because we waited for him to charge, and then because we took longer to beat him to death, his team shows up and starts beating us to death, which leads to awkward situations for us. So, because we did pin him, and we ended up getting to beat him to death, we're very close to having Earth Shatter, which is cool. So, we're not really accomplishing that much over here, because we got some people behind us, but, like, this is, you gotta decide what you're doing when you're playing Reinhardt, right? So we can see 2 people are over here. Lucio clearly wants to go this way, and Soldier's actually behind us. We gotta start walking over this way, because we gotta try and actually, like, get with our team and actually push in with them. Because us just standing over here doing this is not really accomplishing that much, and, like, the rest of our team are kind of going in over here doing that. Like, we gotta start moving over there faster than this. Now, by the time we get over here, kind of not much is happening. You cannot go in, start swinging at this point, because you are at 200 hit points, and you are a very big, you're at slightly less than. You're a very big boy, and you're very low hit points, and you really don't want to die right now, because you're so close to having Earth Shatter. Now, fortunately, Moira actually does start healing us, so we live longer than we have any right to, but you gotta play it more cool in this situation. You are too low health to go in there and start swinging at people. You can just play that situation a lot calmer. Come around the corner, fire strike through them, start building up the rest of the Earth Shatter. Wait to get healed up. Then when you've got Earth Shatter, like, this guy's in bronze, it's not going to be hard to get Earth Shatter past him. You can just play it calm, wait to get healed up, and then make the play with Earth Shatter instead of going in and start swinging early. Which ends up leading to us dying. So now we have Earth Shatter, but most of our team are dead, so it is very difficult for us to do very much with it. Now, even though we don't really want to go pushing in right now, you should still just be looking around this corner. Like, you should still just come and, like, put the shield in front of, Soldier, and here's the reason why. When you're in this SR, you never know what dude is gonna be over here by him fucking self, right? So you should just still be over here, like, putting the shield up and, like, looking to see what's happening, because if somebody comes, like, way too close to you, you can just beat him to death, so you gotta be over here looking. And Soldier's still, like, shooting around the corner. Even though we don't really want to push in because our team are dead, we don't want Soldier to die like he looks like he's going to, so just go and put in the shield in front of him anyway. So we Earth Shatter a few boys here. Unfortunately, our team are not, like, here really to capitalize off of it. They start getting here as things carry on, and Soldier actually managed to get some damage in anyway. Our team does get here in the end, so it ends up working out. When you're in low SR as well, your whole team are probably not going to be there, so you're probably just going to have to take what you can get. So, it works out. That's the important thing. We Earth Shattered them, our team got there, and they were able to capitalize on it, even though some of them were still respawning. So, we are currently being bullied by the Genji. Like, we don't want to be this far up right now, and here's why we don't want to be this far up. You can't rely on your team to actually fucking do anything. So, you don't want to be, like, that close to the gate. There are times when you go and stand that close to the gate because you can kind of use it as a choke point. You cannot rely on your team right now, so you don't want to go that far up because you'll probably end up just getting caught with your team not there. So, don't let your shield break. Letting your shield break is very bad practice, because then the other Reinhardt just gets a free Earth Shatter. So this whole time that we've been over here, like, we've just really not been accomplishing very much with our shield, except letting it take damage. We haven't been blocking Genji, really. We've been blocking, like, some Junkrat shatnel, but we could have just, like, put the shield down and backed way the fuck up. And then we wouldn't even be in this situation where our shield's at half health, because at this point we've basically already made the mistake, and it's not going to get any better anytime soon. We were just, like, too far up, had our shield up, not doing very much of anything, because nobody was there, and Genji was, like, not really... We could have just, like, backed up, and Genji wouldn't have been an issue for us. Then our shield gets low, we end up going aggressively, because our shield has gotten low. Like, just back up. Like, the thing I'm thinking right now is, like, that Reinhardt's probably got his Earth Shatter, but you're just too low to go in right there, because they have a lot of, like, they've got a Junkrat right there, so he's gonna hit you, right? And if this Reinhardt reacts properly and just countercharges you, you die for free, and that's gonna be really sad. So, the better play there is just to back up and give up ground, wait for your shield to regen, and then you can come around the corner. Roadhog can probably just stand on the point and contest it while you let your shield regenerate up a little bit, but we also... If we didn't make the earlier mistake, our shield wouldn't have been that low anyway, so it's a stacking effect, basically. This is, man, I'm having a lot of trouble, like, organizing a consistent train of thought right here. I don't know, oh, you have a consistent train of thought usually? Oh, very funny. So, took it down with 3 health to spare. It's like as close to maximum efficiency as you can get. So we haven't got very much time, so we just gotta kind of start going forward. Don't try and go that way, right? Just try and go this way around instead, because your shield is not healthy enough to go that way. And their Reinhardt's there, and I'm still afraid of getting earth shattered. I don't know if he's actually used it at some point and I missed it. But you can't go this way. Like, they've got things that are gonna break your shield. Going that way is too hard. You're gonna get killed going that way. You're better off going this way, and then just trying to, like, push on the point from that side where they aren't currently, right? And yeah, they might come up behind you and try to kill you. Like, then they can just come around this way and try to kill you, but, like, you trying to push through them is just most likely gonna get you killed as well. Now, they were somehow taken by surprise, right? Like, somehow they were taken by surprise by us coming in like this, and Soldier ended up killing a bunch of them with tack visor. Their Reinhardt's also bad, and, like, wasn't there to block the tack visor, so... Even though that was, like, the most telegraphed maneuver we could have possibly made, they were somehow taken by surprise. Didn't countercharge him, so that's sad. Like, I feel like I must have missed his Earth Shatter, because there's, like, no way this boy didn't Earth Shatter right there if he had it, right? Like, he's in bronze. Like, I know it's not the correct play to Earth Shatter right there, but this boy's in bronze. You're telling me he wouldn't have took that if he had it? I must have missed him use Earth Shatter at some point. Now he's fucked me up. He's psyching me out, and I'm not even playing the game with him right now. God damn. Anyway, Zenyatta died. That sucks. Here comes their Reinhardt. There's no point using Earth Shatter right now. Earth Shatter, there's no point using Fire Strike right now, because you already have Earth Shatter built up. Fire Strike is basically for building up Earth Shatter, and then after that you stop using it. If you think you can kill someone with it, that's a different matter, then yes, by all means, use the Fire Strike even if you have Earth Shatter if it's going to kill someone. But once you have built up Earth Shatter, you basically stop using Fire Strike unless it's going to kill somebody, because it doesn't give you anything at that point, right? Like, you've already got your ultimate built up. And, you want Fire Strike, because if you land a sick Earth Shatter, you want to be able to Fire Strike through them so you can actually kill them while they're all on the ground, right? And if you just keep Fire Striking anyway, you just give the other Reinhardt another opportunity to get his Earth Shatter past you. So that's a drastic overuse of resources right there. It's just Junkrat walking into our entire team by himself. No need to be that concerned about it. Keep looking at that boy, because you don't want exactly this to happen right here, where we get Earth Shattered from behind, and then we're dead. This is probably the moment where we had the chance to decide the round, because if we keep looking at him, and we block that Earth Shatter, we then, or just don't let him get it off, even, like, he might not use it if we keep looking at him. If we just block his Earth Shatter, we then get the opportunity to Earth Shatter him and the people coming in behind him, and this round would probably go completely differently at that point, because his Earth Shatter basically gives them the fight right there, so... Yeah, I know the Junkrat, like, walking in like that is scary, but, like, he's walking into 4 people by himself, like... I know you're in bronze, but, like, your team are probably gonna kill him anyway. Like, he's performing such an illegal maneuver, he is probably gonna die for it regardless. Just keep looking at the Reinhardt, because you don't want exactly what happened to happen. So now we're on, Shrine. Shrine is also an okay map for Reinhardt, because they do tend to come at you from one direction as well. I guess Nepal in general is not that bad as far as King of the Hill maps go, but then you think about, like, Ilios, and that's like, oh, that's very sad for Reinhardt. So, we fire, this is another thing with fire, like, this boy, if you Fire Strike like this and he's got charge, that's exactly what happens to you. So, be careful when you Fire Strike in front of the other Reinhardt, because if he has charge, and he sees you start Fire Striking, he can pin you, and there's not very much you can do about it, because obviously you want to countercharge him in that situation instead. But because we used Fire Strike, it didn't work out. So be careful Fire Striking in front of the other Reinhardt, or, like, how close you are to the Reinhardt when you start fire striking, because he might just pin you for it. So we lost momentum, which is, you know, that's quite tragic, obviously. We've also got to remember that we got pinned, so he got a big lead over us, ult charge-wise, off of that, so he's probably like, oh, feels so good. He's probably like really close to having Earth Shatter at this point, and obviously that's important. Didn't quite manage to pin him right there, which is unfortunate, because he would have super died if we did. He died regardless, but because we missed the pin on him, we don't get the nice juicy ult charge off of it, which we would very much like. Fire strike after that boy. Like, just throw it after him. We built it up right there. We can see where he's gonna go. He's gonna run up to that middle pillar. Just fire strike after him when it comes up. He might be low enough that he actually dies from it, or leads to him dying anyway. So, if you see a boy doing this, if you see Lucio start sprinting up to you like this, give him a smack. Let him know who's boss. Don't let him just walk up and do this for free. Just, like, take the shield down, bash him once, and as soon as you feel the hammer make contact, just put the shield up again. This is, caveat, don't do that if you think you're gonna die taking your shield down, but I would hope that is fairly self-explanatory. If somebody is trying to push their way through your shields, don't just let them do it, right? Don't just be the bitch, right? Take the shield down and bash them, and then as soon as it hits, just put the shield back up again. And that, you know, just let them know who's boss, and if they keep doing it, do it again. And 75 damage to them, even if, like, you're probably not gonna kill them, that's like half of most heroes' health, right? Like, probably might lead to your team killing them anyway for performing the generally illegal maneuver of trying to push through your shield. Don't just, like, let them be the fly on the windscreen, like, pushing their way through the shield, trying to bully. Just, like, show them who's boss. Smack him with the hammer. Unless you think you'll die taking your shield down. But, you know, being alive is a very important aspect of playing most video games, so I would hope that was fairly obvious. So we Earthshatter this boy just immediately right there. It's not really what I'm looking for, because this boy's dead anyway. Like, we can see his health right now. He's really low. You can just go up and start hitting him, and he'll die. There's no need to Earthshatter him. And I'm just looking slightly left of the point. I'm like, a pretty good Earthshatter is going to build up over there in a second, where a few people are about to gather up. We end up killing the Junkrat as well, but, like, there were fucking 4 people over there, right? Like, that would have been so much sicker. You can just go up and hit that Reinhardt. He's already almost dead. And yeah, we killed the Junkrat. Fuck, we could have Earthshattered their whole team if we were just played, like, if we just held that Earthshatter for a little bit longer. If you're gonna Earthshatter one person, it's gotta be someone really important. Like, it's gotta be a person who is using their ultimate, basically. Like, it's gotta be the Genji, the Soldier using Tac Visor, the Moira using Coalescence, Mercy if you think she's got Valkyrie. Just fucking, like, kill the Mercy, right? Killing the Mercy is always a good one. But if you're gonna ult one person, they gotta be, like, real important, basically. If it's, just a Reinhardt who's hobbling away close to death, just fucking kill him. That's, like, the most sad card I've ever seen a Reinhardt actually get, because it's, like, literally just 6. Just 6. That's, like, if it ain't, like, 10 Earthshatter kills out of, like, 14 stuns, I don't want to hear about it. Fucking 6 out of 6? Nah. That's, like, one fluke Earthshatter. I ain't about it. Anyway. So, the general thing that I notice in this game is just, like, be more calm when you're playing Reinhardt. We seem very eager to go in there and start hitting people. I feel like what's happening is we feel like we have to go in there and make something happen, but we're just trying to rush it. We're not, like, waiting for an opportunity to present itself. We're trying to force the opportunity, which is very difficult for Reinhardt to do. You've got to be more patient and methodical when you play Reinhardt, because Reinhardt's a slow boy. You've got to actually, like, set it up a little bit. You can just, like, right at the start, where you feel like we gotta go in and start hitting the Reinhardt. That Reinhardt's gonna make the mistake himself. You don't need to, like, force the mistake on him. He's gonna go in by himself, and then you can just pin him against the wall as soon as you've got it lined up, right? Like, he's gonna make the mistake. You don't have to force it on him. Let him fuck up himself. And just be more calm. Like, I also feel like we're very nervous about using the Earth Shatter because it kind of just seems like we're like, oh, fuck, there, go for it, that's alright. Like, just be calm, right? Don't panic, just wait for it, and just, like, be patient. The opportunity is going to present itself to you. You don't have to rush. You don't have to rush it. Shield management didn't ever really come up in the game itself, so here's just a thing broadly about it, right? Well, two things, really. So, you want to be blocking for your team, right? Like, somebody has to be behind you for it to be worth holding your shield up. Because if you're only blocking yourself, you can just stand behind a wall, right? The wall will block for you as well, and the wall has infinite hit points. Your shield's only got 2,000. The whole point is that you're blocking damage for other people, right? They want to shoot at your team, so you force them to shoot at your shield instead. So if nobody's behind you, don't bother holding your shield up. You can just let it be regenerating, or just save its hit points. You can stand behind a wall if it's just you. There's no big deal, right? And then if they start trying to push through a choke point, yeah, okay, you can come out and stand in front of them, but, like, if you're not blocking for anybody, you don't need to have your shield up. And then the other thing is you want to be blocking meaningful damage, right? If it's trash chip damage, you don't need to block that. You can just keep your shield down anyway. Like, a classic example is, like, suppose you're defending the second checkpoint on Anubis, right? There's, like, a diva on the other end of the bridge while they're resetting, just, like, shooting at you. No need to hold your shield up in front of the diva. So many Reinhardts will do that. They'll hold the shield up in front of the diva right there anyway. The diva's doing no damage, right? Like, she is doing, like, 1-2 damage to people. But, like, you holding your shield up to her right like that is giving her something to shoot at. And it's stopping your shield from regenerating during that period as well. So, like, don't block that either. You want to block for your team, and you want to block actually meaningful damage. So as long as you keep those things in mind, and if you aren't, just like when you're holding your shield up, think to yourself, am I blocking for somebody? If no, take the shield down. Am I blocking meaningful damage? If no, take the shield down. And that'll help you have more, that helps with shield management. Because the goal is really to have your shield up as little as possible. Most people think it's to have it up as much as possible. Nah, it's to have it up as little as possible, because the whole point is that you're blocking, like, meaningful stuff, right? So that should help with that, because it didn't really come up that much in the game. So hopefully that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you did, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you felt I answered your questions from the email inadequately, please let me know, and I will try to expand further. And I hope, join our Discord if you haven't already as well, because then you can ask questions more directly and, like, have a conversation about it, or just shitpost with us, which is what we usually do. And I hope you found the video helpful.